Hello and welcome to the show. This is the Einstein's PlayStation Podcast, and I'm your host, Isaac Miller. So today we'll be talking about lots of news and some deals. And this week we have a 2-topic episode for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll jump right into this. So, to start off, we have, with our deals, a $360 PS4 from eBay. You can get The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead Season 2 for $20 from Amazon. Also from Amazon, you can get Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for $40. Now into our news, we have 6 pieces of news. First off, we have the OVO, which is video chat on PS4, which is meant to replace Skype, if you have a camera, that is. PlanetSide 2 has the closed beta launching on January 20th. Soon, you will be able to put full-size hard drives to make it a 2TB PS4 using the Nyko data bank that fits right on top of your PS4. And it uses the same power supply, so there's no extra cords. The PlayStation 4 has sold 18.5 million consoles worldwide. 4.1 million were sold over break alone. PlayStation Now subscriptions have been released, and the pricing is $20 a month or $45 for 3 months. To play unlimited PS3 games, which would be streaming, and we don't know how that is. But if you want to try it out, you can use the 7-day free trial that PlayStation is offering you. And last but not least is Uncharted 4, who has multiplayer, which is a big deal. And they also have released story details, but to keep this podcast spoiler free, I don't want to talk about it. Now it's time for the weekly topic. So I've noticed some patterns with games that came out. The last few and most recent AAA titles that have come out have had rocky releases. Some few examples are Drive Club, Master Chief Collection, and Assassin's Creed Unity. I'm going to go in depth about what their problems were and how they can be avoided. So, Drive Club said they couldn't test for online servers, but they could have just done a closed beta, and Sony definitely has the resources to test for that. The problems that Drive Club had was that the online just didn't work at all. The servers got overloaded, and it became a big hassle. And they still have not released the PlayStation Plus edition free version of Drive Club, and it will presumably never come out. Next up, although it's not a PlayStation game, the Master Chief Collection, which was an Xbox One exclusive, and it was all 4 games bundled into one, and the company that handled it, 343 Games, they had problems with matchmaking, horrible problems, that they couldn't even get into lobbies, and it took forever, and that plagued that game, and it got patched about 3 weeks later. And the last game, Assassin's Creed Unity, has presumably, other than Drive Club, the worst problems there were. And then I'm going to list some more games that had it, that honorable mentions, I should say. So Assassin's Creed Unity, they had huge bugs. Like, a few users said that character faces disappeared during cutscenes and in-game, so all you saw were the eyeballs and the teeth and gums, which is freaky and can take you out of the experience of the game. There were also other characters running in place, falling through the map, and different glitches like that shouldn't have been there. And then there were also performance issues, so, like low frame rates in the low teens when it should have been running at 60 frames per second. And there were also story missions that had broken objectives, and so you didn't know where to go, and that's a problem. And so some games that made the honorable mention that had also problems were Far Cry 4, although they weren't as severe, The Crew, and last we had minor problems with servers and lag on Advanced Warfare. That was updated and patched. Most of these games are playable now, but that's the pattern that I've seen. Games come out, but they're not ready to come out. The developers push them for the certain release date or something. They need to delay these games. Indie games don't have this problem. They come out when they need to, when the developers are ready, saying, hey, this game is fine, this is how we want it to be, it's playable out of the box. Or out of the code, downloadable code, I should say. But the AAA games that are coming out, either they're being pushed to too late of dates, they're not tested properly or something, but they're coming out broken, and you need to, like, the people that got the consoles on Christmas, they couldn't play their games or use their console because it had to be updated and patched because the games weren't playable out of the box. I know if it was a multiplayer game, they couldn't play it anyway because PlayStation Network was down, but they couldn't update games and play it. And play it that's not broken. The games that we pay for, $60, which is a hefty price tag, the games that we pay for should not be broken. They should not be have performance issues. I mean, if it's a bad game, it's a bad game. But if it's a bad game because of glitches and bugs and performance issues, that's a problem. Because the developers should not be putting out games like that. That if they need to be like indie games and developers, and they put them out when they are ready. I don't care if they're delayed. If they're better games, it's worth it in the end. And so after seeing these patterns, we can apply them into like purchasing habits and other things. So why we should pre-order or why not? So we can use those patterns to see, well, maybe we shouldn't pre-order like the next games that are coming out. Like maybe we shouldn't pre-order Evolve because it will have problems with servers. Or maybe we shouldn't pre-order The Order because we don't even know how it's going to be. Because we don't know if it's broken or not. Especially Ubisoft. We don't know if we can trust them. They're going to have to rebuild our trust by putting out solid games. Over and over and over again. They got to do it constantly. They shouldn't be putting out games that are half-baked. Okay? That's not worth $60. And so what pre-ordering does to benefit the company is tell them, hey, this is how many we're going to sell beforehand. This is just a rough estimate of how well it's going to do, and it helps them with inventory and sending out stuff. But other than that, that's why they incentivize it by giving you DLC. But the reason we shouldn't pre-order it is if it needs to be updated, well, we can't play it anyway. It's going to be broken. Why not wait and get the experience the way we want it after? And so, to clear up all that I've said, just be cautious when pre-ordering games unless you know it's going to be solid. Because so far, developers need to prove back our trust and make games that come out and that are in good condition and playable condition. And once they do that, we can go back and pre-ordering and buying games, knowing going in that this game's gonna work. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Einstein's PlayStation Podcast. If you've enjoyed it, please drop a like if you're watching this on YouTube. Please tune in to next week's episode. And if you want more information or PlayStation 4 news, visit our website at einsteinsplaystationplayground.wordpress.com. Isaac Miller, signing off.